Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and I wanted to analyze the dialogue in the quest Malice in Sundered Land. This is the Nightmare side quest, and the developers have said, they've gone on record and said, the Nightmare Dungeon is supposed to set up Arc 5, and I've got a little bit that I want to talk about in that regard, because personally, if we're not going to get the first world of the 5th arc until late next year, I would like to know as much as I can ahead of time, and I'm sure they'll drop teasers as, we get closer, but for now, what we got in the Nightmare is all that we really have to go off of. And I have some screenshots of the dialogue from within the dungeon. I just don't feel like going all the way and, beating Malice on a whole new character because that would take ages. Let's dive into some of what I've got. So, after you defeat Malice, he says the following. "Child, I am inextricable, undeniable. I am the weight behind every insult, the anger behind every presumption." Okay, that's a random meme I have in my camera roll. How did that get there? "I am the sickly truth disguised by courteous lie. I am raw, malignant honesty. You may dispel me now, the people will rejoice. But in their darkest moments, their quietest thoughts, they will call upon me again, and I will emerge to tell them, and you, it's okay. Hatred is your true nature." Now, hatred is your true nature. I don't really know what Sam, the lead writer of Wizard101, I don't know what he's going for when it comes to this. And if this is really all that we have to go off of, I don't think Malice itself is going to be, the villain of the 5th arc. I think what he's getting at is that the general idea of Malice, and it's like, I can't deny that Malice is right in this instance. Outside of the whole hatred is your true nature, but I'll get to that. But I think what the writers are getting at is that you can't beat human nature. And it's sort of up to you if you want to determine, is hatred our true nature? It's like, if there's any, Legend of Korra fans who have watched Book 3, Zahir's whole ideology is, the natural order is disorder. And we saw in the 4th season of that very same show that when there's disorder, somebody with power will always come through to reestablish order. And it's sort of this push and pull between, chaos and order and that type of thing. And that might be what the writers are trying to do here. The Malice, in this instance, it's just his ideations of, if that's even a word, but the Malice, just the general idea, that people look for something to be mad at. I personally, let's be real. We've all seen that. We've all seen people who are just out there looking to get mad at something. And that is sort of where this idea of Malice comes into play. Malice here sort of serves as that sort of ugly truth type deal. And when Malice says, "But in their darkest moments, their quietest thoughts, they will call upon me again," after, saying you can dispel me now, the people will rejoice. It's like, Malice sort of knows that it'll be back and that there's no real way to beat it. And while I think that's a real great, philosophical discussion that I could have with all of you, putting it in Wiz just as a story beat, I don't know. I really don't know if I rock with that. But I guess we'll just have to see what they do, won't we, team? So I don't know what this means really for, the later worlds. We don't really have much info on them. There's worlds like Yago that has been mentioned before. It's like the land of the Elephants or something like that. We could really see what's going on with that. But when we're there, it's like something that I actually just thought of this, just like right now, but something that it looks like they're doing is they're trying to sort of push this whole idea that, like, you know, this like with the spiral powers, you know, it's like in Novus, it's they were all fighting over Novus, and you know who got control of Dasein and that type of thing, and that was Malice at work. That was, you know, they were all fighting. They're like Mario and his shrill ass voice. I hate it. I want to punt him over the Great Barrier and have him drown in the dreaming. But he was sort of like one of the leading factors in how Malice came to Novus. And, you know, Freddy in Wallaroo here, you know, he was torturing Dasein in his dreams, right? And so he was, you know, spreading malice there too. And Malice being, you know, this sort of distrust, I don't really know what that's going to mean for later on in the spiral. They might push this spiral civil war, or maybe not even a civil war. It'll probably be like a war between worlds, and we'll have to see how that goes. But if you've played Pirate, like I have 13 times, you might think that's a little played out, and I would respect that take. I think that the Wizard sort of trying to be like a mediator for the entirety of the 5th arc over, you know, like the spiral powers and whatnot. I don't think that would strike me as a very good story arc. There's already people saying that, you know, the writing in arc 4 felt kind of sterile. Novus and Wallaroo were kind of letdowns in terms of Dasein's story. There wasn't really a villain, but with the end of Novus and the whole, you know, Doom Moon encounter in Wallaroo, they seem to be building up to this, you know, it's like, should we trust the Wizard and should we trust each other? So if this is the direction that they want to take the 5th arc, I don't think it's going to go over well. I don't know what they've got planned. I hope that they're a bit more transparent with us on this, because for the 4th arc, the only real teaser that we got was this idea of, you know, nothing in white text at the end of the storyline. But the Catacombs, which came out in 2019 between arcs, didn't really dive into that so much. There were some Caramel prequests, I guess, which kind of delved into it a little. But we don't really have much to go off of for this 5th arc just from this. And it's like, it's kind of like I was saying earlier, it's like, it's a nice philosophical discussion, you know, to talk about just the idea of malice and is hatred our true nature? I personally don't think so. But for a story arc in a game, I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, soon I'll like finish up the quest and show y'all that too. So,
did you do it? Did you defeat the malice? Well, all right then. That's pretty good, isn't it? Hatred is our true nature. Please.
I still feel that lingering fury, though, like a lump growing in my heart.
You just need a good night's rest. Some happy dreams will make everything right again. And then, Wizard, I will see you next in Hope Springs. I think it's time the Prime Minister and I have word.
Wizard! I was just... Sorry we triple stomped your ranch.
Alright, that happened? I wasn't really paying attention.
Swing by and tell that to Ned, why don't ya? But I get it, kid. Sometimes you need to make a lot of noise so people will hear. The big wigs are inside, Wizard. I think we're getting ready to finally sort this stuff out.
And then, like I found out the other day, the ending to this quest is honestly pretty lukewarm. I thought, you know, maybe I'll find out a little bit more about Arc 5, because Miles didn't really give us much to go off of, but then this happens.
Listen, about that seize the dream stuff. Maybe it's not so, you know.
Yeah. And look, the Great Barrier and the blaming.
Look, no wazzers, yeah?
Yeah.
So, walkabouts?
So, walkabouts.
Ta, Wizard. I guess you were just the kind of trouble we needed.
A situation
Okay,
has
I don't
developed.
care. So, that was the end of the quest. And we gained no extra knowledge about it. Like the 5th arc. And I hope that they'll, you know, give us some more teasers about what they're doing. Maybe, you know, the story itself just isn't all fleshed out yet. We'll see what Sam's got cooking. I'm hopeful that it'll be a good arc with like a story enjoyment level, I guess, of that of maybe arc 2, maybe arc 3, you know, those 2 arcs. A lot of people look back on those as probably the best arcs from a story perspective, and I mean, I hope so too. I hope that's what we get in the 5th arc, but with what we have to go off of now, I really feel like this whole, you know, like the nightmare will tease arc 5. It's like, I don't really, all that I got out of it was that there might be war between different worlds of the spiral. I didn't really gather that there was going to be a concrete villain, like there were in the last few arcs. And I think that is part of why arc 4 fell flat for a lot of people. And, you know, I could talk about this at length in another video, but, oh, I can collect a poster? What the hell? Oh, give me that. Oh, it's that poster. Okay, cool. But you get the idea, you know? It's like just a little bit whack that we don't really have much to really go off of in terms of, you know, what's the next arc going to be about, that type of deal. So, I don't know. I feel like I've rambled for long enough. I think I'm going to wrap up here. So, thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more, and I will see y'all later.